Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zainab Al-Sammak. I'm a senior student at the American University of Kuwait, majoring in international relations and minoring in information systems and math. I'm honored to be here today to represent SOUT to you, which translates to voice. And the outline of my presentation is going to be as the following: AUK and the P2P initiative, our research findings, some of our strategies, some of our implemented projects, sorry. So some of our implemented project, and then I'll conclude by talking about the future of SOUT. The American University of Kuwait was founded in 2004. It has two colleges, the College of Business and Economics and the College of Sciences and Arts. The P2P initiative was a learning component in one of our IR courses, IR 342, International Human Rights. We decided on adopting a human right-based approach and a positive attitude to fight extremism by by promoting social cohesion. So, our research findings was the foundation that established our NGO, SOUT, or to be more specific, our quasi-NGO, because we're not formal, we're informal and not registered. One of the first things we did alongside of building our organizations is identifying a few individuals who were willing to do some research to give us an insight about the factors that contributes to extreme behavior. So we decided on tackling the roots of the problem instead of the symptoms themselves. And our research team came up with the following conclusion, that the rise of structural violence and the lack of social cohesion are some of the essential factors that trigger extreme behaviors. So what is social cohesion? Social cohesion is the glue that binds a society together. A cohesive society is a society founded upon a sense of similarities and responsibilities between its members towards each other. And the interplay between social capital and human capital contribute greatly to the cohesiveness of the society. A human capital is the set of knowledge that enable people to work and generate an economic value, where social capital is the network of norms that binds people together. Structural violence is a form of indirect violence that leads to the marginalization of people, which can cause inequality in a society and the lack of opportunity to many groups as they're going to be marginalized. During our studies about social cohesion and structural violence, we noticed that certain types of organizations emerge within a society whenever you have a lack of social cohesion and a rise in structural violence. And those organizations are known as cults. Cults can be defined as organizations that emerge within a society as a response to a certain social system in that society. And now, since you know the context behind SOUT, I'm going to talk about our strategies. First, we collectively decided that the best way to implement the P2P initiative was by creating an NGO. So, SOUT is an organization that targets individuals between the ages of 16 and 25. We try to educate those individuals about the importance of human rights and its relevance to social cohesion. We seek to develop a platform via social media for the youth to communicate and address issues that they feel it's important to them and to express their point of views. And we aspire to cultivate a culture of civic engagement and social equality, and we respect rights codified in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Our targeted audience were the global civil society and the silent majority. The global civil society are those who are vocal about their opinions and point of view regarding policies and regulations, and they might even campaign across borders to reach their aim. Where the silent majority, as we define them, are those individuals who are not a part of who are not a part of an organization, but they have their own views, but they share them in private thanks to technology. And to complement our targeted audience, we decided to concentrate on issues that has a global and a local impact. That's why our first campaign targeted stateless people as it's a global issue, and it resonates in Kuwait under the name of Bidoon. Bidoon is the community. It's the name that the community of stateless people in Kuwait has, and it literally translates into without. Also, we developed our own metric strategy, and we developed a communication strategy. We agree that social media, especially Twitter, is the best way and the best tool to spread our campaign. And the graph illustrates a Twitter penetration percentage in the MENA region. If you notice, Kuwait and KSA has the highest percentage, but if you look at the percentage per capita, then by far Kuwait is leading the region when it comes to Twitter usage. We used other means of communication and other social media platforms, such as Facebook, WordPress, YouTube, and Instagram. And we also utilized traditional means of communication, such as brochures, one-on-one meetings, and flyers within the local community. We designed our social media metric strategy to monitor how many people subscribed to our social media platforms and the impact that our organizational activities has on those who are following us on social media or attended a few of our projects. We used Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube Analytics to measure our impact. And also we used surveys in one of our events, and I'll be talking about that later in a few minutes. And next semester, we decided on, actually not next semester, this semester, we decided on basically establishing a few social groups, and I'll be talking about that in a few minutes as well. Two of our most important projects that we implemented was the Bidoon panel and the viral video. The Bidoon panel was a panel consisted of 3 human rights activists in Kuwait talking about the Bidoon issues from a historical and present perspective and addressing the issues and challenges that face them within the Kuwaiti community. The Bidoon panel launched our Twitter campaign where we monitored our impact and how people reacted to the Bidoon panel as we posted it on YouTube as well. And that was made possible because of an account that retweeted us and mentioned us in a post, and that account has almost 300,000 followers. The viral video is a video that we edited and designed, so where we talked about what matters to us the most as members of an NGO. And by the end of the video, in the description part in YouTube, we encouraged other people from the global civil society to talk about what matters to them the most and speak out about what issues they think is important in their societies and communities. During the Bidoon panel, we used traditional means of data collection and data analysis, which was surveys. Surveys were filled before and after the panel to measure the impact that we had on our audience. And as you can notice, there's a huge shift in the bars, and that shift, it was a positive change of attitude to those who attended our panel, as they expressed how compassionate they are now to the Bidoon community and how do they know more about the issues that are facing them and how they're marginalized within the Kuwaiti society. So what is the future of SOUT? SOUT right now is an internship program, so it's a service learning component within AUK. We decided on broadening our horizon by targeting other issues such as women's rights and migrant workers. We're planning on enhancing our marketing strategies and our metric strategies. Also, we're adopting a semi-monthly movie night followed by a focus group. And that movie night would have a certain theme, and we'll have faculty members to moderate and facilitate the discussion. And the faculty members will be from different area of expertise, such as politics, history, anthropology, and psychology. And finally, I would like to play our viral video.
Declarations, conventions, and covenants of human rights have become an integral part of international law. Yet humanity still faces gross human rights violations to this day.
At least 10 million people around the world are stateless. Most of these people are stateless by no fault of their own, but because of discrimination, redrawing of borders, and gaps in nationality laws. That means they are deprived of the basic rights we take for granted, such as the right to education and healthcare.
750 million people around the world lack access to safe drinkable water, approximately 1 in every 9 people. Each year, 3.1 million children under the age of 5 die of hunger and poor nutrition.
More than 800,000 victims are trafficked across international borders every year. There are 27 million slaves in our world today. This is the highest recorded number of slavery throughout all of history.
Torture is still taking place in 141 countries. We are standing by as hundreds of people are routinely tortured in 3/4 of the world. It is our duty to speak out against this abuse.
The total number of migrants has risen by 57 million since 2002. In some parts of the world, migrant workers are beaten, exploited, and trapped in forced labor situations.
6 in every 10 children between the ages of 2 to 14 are prone to violence. Approximately 121 million children across the globe have no access to education.
Women earn between 10 and 30% less income than men in most countries. There are around 781 million illiterate adults, 2/3 of which are women.
We live in an increasingly violent world. 526,000 people are killed by armed violence every year. Every minute, 1 person dies of armed violence. 12.2% are killed in conflict settings.
These are but some aspects of the harsh reality we aspire to eradicate. So take down the ribbon and speak out.
Speak out against poverty and starvation.
Speak out against human trafficking.
Speak out against torture.
Speak out against exploitation.
Speak out for the children.
Speak out for female empowerment.
It's time to speak out against the use of mercenaries in conflict settings.
Speak out on behalf of the voiceless.
Thank you.